Screen printing is our bread and butter. It's the core of our business and how we produce the majority of the products that we sell. So what is it exactly? Artwork. It all starts at the illustrator's desk. Our creative director, Christina, is using a digital tablet to flesh out a design concept. Depending on the complexity of the design, it may take days to complete. Once she gets it exactly how she wants it, it gets sent over to the screen room over our internal network. Simulated here by a 9-year-old retired racing greyhound named Ellie.
So when I'm designing for t-shirts, I think about constraining myself to just like a few colors at a time. Good influences in different areas like tattoo art and comic book art. If I don't want to wear it, I don't expect anyone else to.
Screen making. The artwork is sent to the darkroom, where our screen technician, Tyler, will develop it into physical screens. While screens are now made of polyester filament, they were once made of silk, hence the name silk screening, which is really now the same as screen printing. Each color in the artwork is separated out from the others, where it is printed as a negative using UV-resistant ink onto an emulsion-coated screen. Tyler will select a specific mesh type for each color, depending on the artwork's level of detail and the ink types that are going to be used. Once the artwork is printed onto the emulsion, it's placed inside of a light box, where it's exposed to ultraviolet light. The light causes the naked emulsion to turn into a durable plastic, while the areas covered by ink remain in darkness. After the screens are removed, the area covered by ink is still in a gel-like state and can be blasted out with a power washer. After drying the screen, we now have a stencil in the shape of our artwork, and it's ready to go to the printing press. The printing press. Now that we have our screens, the screen print team will get ready to print. The edges need to be taped to prevent ink spillage, and the screens loaded with a special plastisol ink. We use QCM inks, which are made in Pineville, North Carolina, and have an exceptional environmental and safety record. Our screen printers are trained through an internal apprentice system. They learn best practices with regards to organization and quality control before advancing to learn how to operate a modern printing press.
Starting out, I knew very little. I knew shirts were cool and I knew that you had to print on them. I know way more than I did before. Everybody here is extremely willing to go out of their way to give you knowledge. It's so awesome the endless possibilities we can put on shirts from just something as simple as a screen and ink. I'm just very happy to be able to come in every day and see where it takes me.
The screens are loaded onto a circular press in a specific sequence, almost always with the white ink being printed first and being flash cured on the press to give the color inks an ideal background to lay upon, kind of like if you were to prime a wall before painting it. Depending on the artwork and type of fabric, the printers select specific ink formulations, calibrate heat settings, adjust squeegee angles, and make various other choices, all designed to ensure that the final printed shirt is vibrant and durable. In a way, it's a lot like cooking. The basic recipe might be simple, but it's all the details along the way that make the difference between okay and delicious. Once the master printer has approved the final test print, it's production time. The printer and their apprentice will print upwards of 500 shirts per hour, one every 7 seconds. Keeping that rate of speed while holding the proper tolerances requires an incredible machine, and that's why we invest in world-class printing presses manufactured by M&R in Illinois. From engineering through welding, M&R's presses are built to last for tens of millions of prints.
It's been an interesting growth process for sure, because when I first started off here, I was one of the lower guys, just doing my job and everything, and it's always a very nice, fulfilling feeling after you've gone through training to see the new people, pick up and start really get a hang for the job that they're doing, so it's fun. I feel like we all have a nice, pretty strong bond because we're always back here with each other all the time, and everyone's pretty cool and chill. It's a great time.
As the shirts come off the press, they're ported through giant conveyor dryers, where the ink is brought to just the right temperature needed to set it in place forever without excess heat that could damage the shirt fibers. If you've ever had a printed shirt that cracked or faded too early, the odds are that the dryer or the inks were miscalibrated for the shirt. Once the shirts are checked for quality of final time, they're stacked and sent off to the bagging team. The bagging team is responsible for making sure that the proper sizes are folded, bagged, and labeled before being shipped off to Amazon, where Prime customers from all over the world can order them.
I am one of 2 Amazon logistic coordinators, which basically entails making sure that all of the Amazon shirts get shipped out in one piece, and are perfect for every customer. I come in, I power on my bagging machine. Eventually I have a second person come in and they will be at the end of our bagging machines loading shirts while I'm on the other end making sure they seal correctly and are labeled correctly and make it into the box.
Finally, one lucky shirt is set aside for modeling. We think it's important to use real models wearing the real product rather than making simulations in photo software. This lets our customers know exactly what they're getting and makes shopping online easier. And that's it! From an artist's hand to your front door, that's how an Ann Arbor T-shirt company tee gets made.